All right, let's just jump right in. If you've ever bitten into a perfectly flaky, authentic market-style samosa and thought, how on earth do they do this? Well, you are in exactly the right place for this explainer. Because let's be real, we've all felt the heartbreak of making samosas at home only for them to turn out totally soggy or, rock hard. Today, we're deconstructing this ultimate street food staple using some brilliant insights from Shweta's kitchen to fix exactly that. And a quick spoiler alert for anyone paying close attention, cracking the code for the perfect samosa absolutely comes down to one massive secret. It is all about how you create and handle the perfect dough. That is the ultimate game changer, and we're going to show you exactly how it's done.
Okay, here's our roadmap for today. Section 1, the foundation, perfect samosa dough. Section 2, the heart, spicy potato filling. Section 3, the architecture, shaping techniques. And finally, Section 4, the finish, masterful frying.
Let's kick things off with Section 1, the foundation, perfect samosa dough.
Listen, if you want a professional-grade samosa, getting the dough right is completely non-negotiable. It literally makes or breaks the whole shebang. And the foundational secret here? It's a technique called moyon. So you start with your refined flour, maida, and toss in some adjoin, which are carom seeds, along with a bit of salt. But the true magic happens during this moyon phase. This is the precise process where you rub fat, specifically oil, directly into that dry flour. Mechanically speaking, what's happening is that the fat is coating the flour proteins, and that actually stops gluten from forming. That right there is the scientific secret to getting that insanely flaky crust we all want. But wait, mixing it is only half the battle. Shweta's Kitchen has a very strict rule here. Once it's mixed, you absolutely must let this dough rest for exactly 15 minutes. No cheating. The perfect dough demands this pause before you do anything else.
Now, instinctively, when we roll out dough, we want to make it a circle, right? Like a pizza? Well, actually, scratch that. For a market-style samosa, you have to completely avoid the round shape. You've got to roll it out into a distinct oval. Why does this matter? It's all about the architecture. A thick, elongated oval gives you the absolute perfect geometry to fold a really deep, robust cone later on. And notice I said thick. The source material is super clear on this. Keep that oval distinctly thick. Thin dough is going to totally ruin your structural integrity, but a thick, oval dough, that sets you up flawlessly for the steps ahead.
Moving right along to Section 2, the heart, spicy potato filling.
So, while our perfect dough is resting up, let's build some serious flavor. It all starts with the aromatics. Just imagine the sizzle and that incredible punchy smell when you drop whole coriander, cara d'ania, into hot oil, followed right away by a sharp ginger and green chili paste. This combo kicks off the filling, creating an incredibly fragrant base before a single vegetable even hits the pan.
For the perfect texture and volume, the ratios are totally key here. You're going to take exactly 4 to 5 boiled potatoes and mix them with half a bowl of boiled peas. This precise ratio gives the filling just the right amount of hearty bulk from the potatoes, beautifully balanced by the sweet little pop of the peas.
Okay, now to transform those potatoes and peas into that unmistakable market flavor profile, we have to introduce the authentic dry spice blend. This is an absolute powerhouse of flavor, guys. We're talking black salt and regular salt for deep savoriness, mixed with super tangy chaat masala to balance out warm, earthy spices like cumin powder and garam masala. Then you toss in kashiri methi, which are dried fenugreek leaves, and finish the whole thing off with a handful of fresh green coriander. It creates this deeply spiced, perfectly balanced filling that is just out of this world.
All right, Section 3, the architecture, shaping techniques.
This is where our perfect dough and our spicy filling finally meet up. It's essentially edible origami. Remember that thick, oval dough we were talking about earlier? Step 1, slice straight through the center of that oval. Step 2, take one of those halves and fold it into a triangle, or basically a cone. Now, step 3 is absolutely crucial for the architecture. You have to seal the edges of that cone with water. Think of the water as your glue. Step 4, add your filling. But hey, Shweta's Kitchen explicitly warns us not to overfill it. You might be wondering why? Because that delicate, flaky moyen dough we spent so much time perfecting needs enough room to expand without tearing. Finally, step 5, you do a little fold at the back and use water again to glue the whole thing completely shut.
Which brings us to Section 4, the finish, masterful frying.
We've made it to the final phase, and honestly, this is where the magic really happens. It's the ultimate make or break moment. The golden rule here, the oil must not be too hot. I know. It sounds totally counterintuitive, right? Usually with street food, we're blasting it in roaring hot oil, but let's lean into the science for a second. Remember how we specifically crafted our perfect dough to be super thick? Well, if your oil is too hot, the outside of that thick dough is going to burn instantly, while the inside stays totally raw. Gross, right? By keeping the oil temperature lower and going low and slow, you guarantee that the thick exterior cooks all the way through. That is exactly how you get that immaculate, crispy, flaky crunch we've been chasing since step 1.
And there you have it. By mastering the science of the moyen process, rolling out a thick oval, nailing those spices, using water as your glue, and totally controlling that oil temperature, you've just made perfect, authentic, market-style samosas. So, as we wrap up this explainer, I'll leave you with one final, very important question to think about before you run straight to your kitchen to try this out. What are you going to pair with your perfect homemade samosas? A tangy, spicy chutney or a piping hot cup of chai?